Nigerians, are we surprised by what Baba Jonathan is saying, that Boko Haram choose late Buhari as their negotiator while Jonathan was the president? Are we also surprised that Baba Jonathan is saying that the Boko Haram members have more sophisticated weapons than the Nigerian army? Are we also surprised that Baba Jonathan is saying that the Boko Haram members are sponsored by government officials? Does that news surprise any of us? Is that not obvious? But my question to you, Baba Jonathan, is who are the government officials? You was a president for 2 years. You was a vice for 4 years. That is 6 years. And you're still here telling us this. With all due respect, sir, your regime was a weak regime. Let's stop deceiving ourselves, Nigerians. For those of you that thinks that Goodluck Jonathan regime was a better regime, there's nothing better about it. Everybody had an opinion. See what you're telling us today. Boko Haram is being sponsored by government officials because of the kind of ammunitions they have. Who are the government officials? You are a president of a country for 2 years. You cannot sit there and tell us who sponsors Boko Haram. As if you don't know. You know what Boko Haram stand for, and you know who their sponsors are. And you're telling us they are government officials. Are you not a government official? It could be you. You could be the sponsor of Boko Haram because you're also a government official. So why are you telling us all this today? What do you think we need all this information for? Since Buhari Pai, all of you are coming out to say one thing or the other about Buhari. What stops you people from talking while he was here? What will people say about you people when you people finally Pai? The other one, they say snake or monkey swallowed money in Asorok, have come out to debunk the news that it was a lie because Buhari don't Pai. Why did you not say when Buhari was alive? How many other lies have you people been telling gullible Nigerians and they keep believing you people? Oga Jonathan, sit down. Just sit down, Baba. Leave this country alone. You failed this country before. You're still going to fail this country again and again. What difference will you make? Baba, carry chair, go sit down. Leave Nigeria alone. Una don't mess Nigeria up enough. Leave Nigeria alone. You're not coming to be any messiah. You're not going to be better than Tinubu. Instead of you coming back, let Tinubu continue.
Now, who is surprised? Who is surprised about this news? You know, everybody called Goodluck Jonathan a coward for 2015. But if you look at the conditions for Nigeria to be in existence, that 2015, he had no other option than to step down. He was fought internationally from the Western country, locally from the Boko Haram and their sponsors, terrorism sponsors. Now imagine when a terrorist organization have told you that they need your people's component Buhari to negotiate on their behalf. It's fishy. And funny part, I don't know, Jonathan saying this out now is becoming the news right now, but it has not been the news. This have been in existence. People that have been following the news 2015. Yeah, these news have been reported before. The problem with us is that we don't read. And that's why history keep repeating itself. The people that we should change with our life, we allow them to come in. Jonathan did not expose anything that have not been there before. The only problem is that we don't pay attention and we don't read. And that's why these things keep happening again and again. The damage done in Nigeria since 2015 till now, it's unexplainable. It's going to take years to explain it. Around that 2015, we were the biggest economy in Africa. Now we are fourth. Then you could take our Nigeria card, go to Dubai, go to US, go to wherever you want to go.
The lesson Nigeria should learn from this is shun bigotry, shun tribalism, shun religious sentiment. When we are electing leaders, this is serious business. We should be capable of reading behind the lines, going to read their past, their history, and what they are doing, the friends they associate with, the way they talk, the way their children is. Because you could see from the terrible leaders we have, their antecedents, their style of life.
You see, the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, has come out to say that while he was the president of Nigeria, there was a time Boko Haram. If you don't know Boko Haram, it is a terrorist organization. That there was a time that they nominated Muhammadu Buhari to represent their team in negotiating with the government. At that point, Muhammadu Buhari was not a president, no. He was just a former head of state who has a political ambition of being the president of Nigeria. Because it was on the 31st of December, 1983, that he sacked the elected civilian government of Shehu Shagari. And then on the 27th of August, 1935, Babangida took him out. So he has been nurturing the second coming back in the civilian government. In this fourth republic, Goodluck said there was a time Boko Haram nominated him to represent their team in negotiating with the government. First, let's start with that statement that Boko Haram nominated Muhammadu Buhari to represent their team in negotiating with the government. What does that mean? If actually what Goodluck is saying is true, but let's suppose that symbolically it is, do you know what that means? It means that they saw Muhammadu Buhari as a bridge between them and the government. It means that they deemed him fit to represent their interest. It means that they saw him as their voice of terror to meditate against the mechanism of the government. It means that they saw him as someone who can speak for them and negotiate properly with the government. That is to say, there is a deliberate, conscious, conspicuous conspiracy between that group and that of the person they appointed to represent them. Because a man does not represent what he does not know. No, you don't represent what you do not know. You don't. For you to represent something, you know how that thing runs. I am just defining concepts for you. When a group that uses terror, that uses coercion, that uses fear, calls you to represent them, it means something. Quantitatively and denotatively, it means something. If I, to be a president, I will call you and ask you a question. Why must these people call you to represent them? There is something. There is something. But what Goodluck did not tell us is this. Did Muhammadu Buhari actually go ahead to represent them? He didn't say it. But his statement connotatively suggests that there was a representation. Because he said that he now believed that since they can nominate him to represent their team to negotiate with the government, he now believed that, okay, when he gets into power, these guys will surrender. But it did not happen. Why? Because giving water to the monkey is not the problem. The problem is collecting the gold from the monkey. That is what Goodluck might not know. Now, it boils down to negotiating with terrorism. It has never worked anywhere because when you negotiate with bandits and terrorists, you are giving them legitimacy. You are simply telling them, hey, I cannot combat you. Can we have a common ground? And that is not a way, a mechanism that represents a sovereignty should present themselves. You must present yourself as the alpha. Muhammadu Buhari being nominated by that kind of a group to represent them speaks a lot without speaking a lot. It says a lot. And some of you might say, okay, why is he coming out to say it now? Why did he not say it all this while? It's because you have not been listening. You have not been listening. If you read Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's book, My Transition Hour, he said a lot of things in that book, but your problem is that you don't read. The truth is in the plain sight. The truth is in the open. The truth is in the library. The truth is in the morgue.
You know, when I was in office, and one of the major scars on my government, and it would be on my face, and like Bishop Cook has said, no plastic or cosmetic surgeon can remove it, is the issue of the Chibok girls. It's a scar that I will die with. But later on, people may know a little more details. And that's also to do with the Boko Haram. What do they really want? But you will never get the full story of the Boko Haram. Because I was there. The Boko Haram started 2009 when I was the vice president to late Yaradua. Now, of course, I took over 2010 for 5 years battling with the Boko Haram until I left. I thought that immediately I leave, within a reasonable time, late General Buhari was going to wipe them out, but till today, the Boko Haram is still there. So the issue of Boko Haram is a little more complex than sometimes we can conjecture. Then we had issues in the Niger Delta. And when I became the vice president, one of the major things I did was to visit the most dangerous camp of the militants in the Niger Delta. I remember when we flew down to Warri, by the time we got to the waterfront to take boats to that camp, they sent information to us that anybody following me must not carry a weapon. My ADC, my CSO, that nobody should carry a weapon. In fact, the Commissioner of Police of Delta State said, Vice President, no, you will not go there. the state director of SSS to say, no, I will not go. I told them I will go. So even my officers, my ADC, my CSO and so on, they handed over their guns to the CP and the SDS of Delta State. And none of them carried weapon. When we landed at the camp, these boys lying up one this way, one road this way, with their assault rifles, just facing the bush, not even looking at my direction as if there was nothing happening. We passed through them, We had a meeting with their leaders and so on. We had spent almost 1 hour there. When we came back, that was the beginning of solving the Boko Haram, the Niger Delta crisis. And we're able to get through. At least now there's a reasonable pace in the Niger Delta. But if you look at the weapons they use and you value the weapons, then you know that these are not hungry people. So the soldiers that sometimes capture some of the weapons will see better. But the weapons they use, the ammunitions they use, sometimes they even have more ammunitions than our soldiers. So it doesn't show that they're hungry people. And where are these guns, sophisticated weapons coming from? And you begin to see that the external hands are also involved, especially when I was a president. So it's a bit complex. And it's not a matter of a single story. But I believe as a nation, we have to look at the concept of Boko Haram and approach it differently. All the military officers who were involved in this Boko Haram saga should be able to give us information about what the Boko Haram stood for. If it is only about hunger, because we tried different options, I don't need to give a sermon. It will look as if I am trying to defend my own government. That will come up later when we will document, we'll write our books. But I believe we took different options, set different committees. We tried our best within that 5 years that I was there. I believe late Buhari too must have tried his best, because one of the committees we set up then, the Boko Haram nominated Buhari to lead their team to negotiate with government. So I was feeling that, if they nominated Buhari to represent them and have a discussions with the government committee, then when Buhari took over, it could have been an easy way to negotiate with them and they would have handed over their guns, but it was still there till today. I believe the government, luckily the defense minister is here. The service chiefs all are represented there. I think we will need a slightly different approach, and God willing.
Welcome back. I don't think the way some of you guys are looking towards this issue of Goodluck Jonathan, that is not how it is. Although there are some many things that many of you have said here that is very, very correct. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you people, the part that Goodluck Ibile Jonathan feel. You know when he feel. The part when he feel be say, now when he carry himself go the gum with the North people. You know, say he was trying to make northern people as his own so that they will not betray him. And at the end of the day, he was betrayed by them. So that is to tell you that northern people, especially those Fulani among them, are not people where we see any of now go carry himself go the see make them be this, that, or whatsoever. Although you get within this young lady we now want to see for here get to talk concerning how they use money or was many other things to grab power from your hand before we go come back to this normal topic. Thank you.
In 2015, Nigeria had an election, a major one, where President Goodluck Jonathan was kind of really running for re-election since he took over the late president's term. This sort of thing happened in Ghana too, when Mahama came and took over the rest of Atamil's term. But let's focus on Nigeria. What happened that year? Many of you were young. My son is 25 next month, and he was like 14, 15 then. When I say you're not in the conversation, means you were either in secondary school and you were not in the news and internet and all. You were too young. Your parents wouldn't even give you a phone. But now you're the voter and you need to know these facts. In 2015, when Goodluck Jonathan ran for election, he ran this election under a budget that President Buhari and the APC claimed that came from the money President Obama gave Nigeria to fight Boko Haram. That money was a lot. It was $2.5 billion and a lot of military vehicles. Instead, they used the money to do the election. They shared the money amongst each other, and the facts are there. At the end of the day, they were busted. How were they busted? A media outlet actually put the story out, and it shocked Nigerians. Nigerians then decided not to vote for PDP and Goodluck Jonathan again, and they voted President Buhari and APC in. What was that media outlet? It was Sahara Reporters. Sahara Reporters gave a lot of credible news in those days, and most of their news were investigative-like and busting corruption. No doubt, we've seen what Sahara has done. But at that time, Yeli Sowore was under fire because some politicians on the PDP side said that he collected $800,000 from Buhari and the APC, which was held and led by Tinubu at the time. President Tinubu was the chairman of the party, and PDP accused them of giving Sowore almost $1 million just to put the story out. It's not unusual to see a media outlet paid to put an exclusive story out on their platform, and that's what they wanted to achieve on the APC side. So a lot of PDP people were very, very angry at Sowore, saying that he collected all this money. He revamped Sahara Reporters in New York. And of course, we saw that Sahara had an office in New York and was well revamped, and even the Lagos office. And they went after Sowore. Now, I can't confirm or deny that $800,000 or even the amount they paid him. But Sahara Reporters has been under fire. Other media outlets like Cable NG, Premium Times, and others were quite jealous of the amount of money, and they kind of was on the PDP side of things, saying that, yes, in fact, Sowore collected money to put the news out. Now, is it wrong to collect money to put news out? It was an exclusive story that can actually shift many things, and it shifted the election. At the end of the day, who are the people paying Cable NG and Premium Times? They were the same politicians on the other side. Now, young people, I need you to know this, okay? When Buhari was elected and he was sworn in, the first thing he did, the order of day, was to arrest every single person that shared that money. And there was proof. He arrested a lot of politicians, journalists, different people. People were like begging Buhari, please, let me tell you how I spent my own, what they gave us for. Nduka Baigbena, who owns This Day and Arise News, he came up with, 600 million naira was his share, and he said it was for advertising. It was for an advertising campaign. Linda Ekeji collected 242 million. And Mrs. Jonathan's PA ran off. Eventually he was arrested, but he said he gave a Lagos blogger 242 million. And Linda did collect the money. So I exposed that part on my own platform that Linda collected 242 million. So when Punch, caught up with Linda, Punch asked Linda, what do you think about what Auntie Kemi said? And Linda admitted to getting the money, but she also said it was for advertising purposes, just like Nduka Obaigbena. Everybody had different reasons of how they collected the money. Some people were carrying just fresh cash all over the place. Jumoke Akinjide, who was a minister at the time in Johnson's government, was carrying money. Dezani, Alison Madueke, everybody was spending this $2.5 billion. At the end of the day, what happened next will shock you. Buhari now detained Sambo Dasuki, who was his arch enemy from the days of when he was married to his late wife, Safi, and it became do me or do you. You guys can see what's happening with President Trump now and former FBI chief James Comey. Who think is do me or do you that Trump is trying to do with him? Go get all my political enemies kind of thing. Okay, so Dasuki got the treatment. He was locked up for the entire 4 years of Buhari's first administration. Even when the judges gave the Suki bail, Buhari did not even let them enforce it. He started getting into this judiciary executive thing, like interfering with the judiciary and all. Now, as soon as Buhari got into office and settled into office, there was some $20 million missing at the CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria. During that meeting, they wanted to hide the money. And Emefiele was a major person speaking in the room. They said Ayafayoshe was in the room and other people. But at the end of the day, the recording that had Emefiele saying, how are we going to hide this money, was recorded by someone in the room. Okay, till today, I can only tell you that I believe he was one of the Army security guys who was standing in the room with them in the meeting that was doing that recording. Anyway, the recording got to Sahara reporters. They wanted to hide 20 million that they've already stolen. So when it got to Sahara reporters, Yeli Shure decided to air that and do a story about it. Now, this is where news gets confusing. Remember Tiwa Savage and myself? News is news. News doesn't have any favor. So, Tiwa didn't like the fact that I reported the sex tape and had opinions about it. The same thing, Buhari and Tinubu didn't like the fact that Shure reported that $20 million missing from the CBN. So they decided to arrest Shure and say they arrested him under the guise of planning a revolution. Revolution now. So in 2019, they arrested Shure, the same people that paid Shure allegedly to put Buhari in office and take Jonathan out. So the thing has been crazy. I supported Shure on that side of news is news. Arrest, it's not even whatever. So
that you don't listen to waiting everybody don't talk. Though you get one guy here will be say he talk about good luck, say okay, good luck, they very weak, this and that. No be saying they very weak. The kind of person will be so key that man be nine be this, in be person will be saying get sympathy for human being. So one make people they lose their life and the way it did happen during them Buhari then. So that is why it did like say okay, it did weak. If you see how busy they buy people during his tenure, you gonna see get person will be so okay, it did behind the sponsors do those things true. Why are they tell una this? I know so many of una know the fact that okay, all these things happen true, but I just they let some of you be say okay, now see they confused about this thing. No, because if you come out and say okay, in the week, if you can carry ammunition, can give all this security personnel now make they can they use them. No see, you get some innocent people will be say okay, the gun are people let go stay touch. That is what some of you should learn, because if you just order or give your security personnel order that make them go the fight war, when say okay, get some citizen for inside Nigeria, we be say okay, them not the bad. So for those of you now, we be say okay, that they complain or when they complain about what you don't do, make una just relax, because no being fault and no being be the first person will be saying don't make mistake. Although you don't make mistake, we know say you don't make mistake, but him trying to come back in 2027, that one is something that me I will never be in support. So you hearing us now, if you get everything you want to talk concerning this, make you drop everything you get to talk, and also if that to be your first time, make you like, share, subscribe. Thank you.